Good evening. It's 6 o'clock on November 24th, 2025. This is a meeting of the Hampden Selectboard and Board of Health at the Town Hall located at 85 Wilbraham Road. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We are broadcasting this meeting over Zoom as well as recording it. Is there anybody else recording the meeting? Nope. Seeing none, we will kick right off. Any minutes?
No.
Okay. First, I want to congratulate everybody in the town hall for the move that happened last week. We didn't meet last week just because, we really give everyone a chance to get everything together, but the spirit of cooperation by every department, the leadership, Brian, Lauren, Herb, just incredible. I know I have the assessors here and Jane stopping by your office and seeing how quickly you had it set up. It's just terrific. And that's, I think, embodies what every department did at the town hall. And I want to send to you three guys, thank goodness you have somebody like that working for you. Yeah. So, and every other department member. So thank you all. All right, the first thing on the agenda, we have a tax classification hearing.
Yes.
And first, we have in front of us the Hampden Board of Assessors, Phil, Bob, Norm, and thank goodness we have Jane here.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness. All right, so this is the annual, basically, vote on the four questions that determine how we break up, if we do break up, different classifications for our taxes. Don, you'll probably recall. Honestly, it's important that we do it. I don't recall a different outcome in my time, but that's because the town pretty much exists the same year after year. So, Jane, I'm going to throw it over to you for your first time honchoing this.
All right.
So my name is Jane Ferrantino. I'm the principal assessor here at the Town of Hampden. And as John said, I'm here with my board members, Chairman Norman Charest, and the assessors Robert Maku and Philip Schneider. The purpose of this hearing is to provide the information to the select board regarding the tax rate options available to the town under property tax classification, tax classification. Just to give you guys a quick overview, all of our fiscal year 26 values for real and personal property have been approved by the DOR. The town's valuation has increased from a little over $977 million in fiscal 25 to 1.30 billion in fiscal year 26. So that's an increase of a little over 53 million for the town.
Billion.
Of that increase, a little over 15 million was due to new growth that can be residential new growth from new construction, addition, or other improvements, as well as several new parcels that were created for fiscal year 26. The new growth from personal property was a little over 9.9 million. Of that, 4 million new growth was from the personal property for the new solar array on Cross Road. And then we have the 4 public utility accounts, and those contributed an extra little over 5.2 million in new growth as well. The average single family home has increased from approximately 419,000 in fiscal year 25 to approximately 441,271 in fiscal year 26. That's about a 5.31 increase from last year. The current tax rate that was set for fiscal year 25 was 1509. Right now, an estimate for fiscal year 26 is 15.76. That's about a 4.4 increase or 67 cents increase from last year. And then just to give you an idea of how this is going to affect the taxpayers for Hampden, the average single family tax bill will increase from approximately $6,322.71 to $6,954.43. This is about an annual increase of $631, and that's about a 10% increase for the annual tax bill for a single-family home.
Now, during the special town meeting, I thought that we were projecting by doing some of the transfers and the no actions, we were hoping to get to an 8% increase.
Yes, yeah.
What do you think might have affected that?
Some has to do with the overlay did increase. There was an increase had to be put on there, and that was done with the veterans exemptions that got added on to that. And then there is an ATV case outgoing right now.
There is, okay.
So we had to add some to the overlay.
I remember that you were projecting was a $40,000 increase due to the veterans exemption.
Yes,
increase.
yeah, maybe like
Right.
45,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
We were also concerned, looking at the free cash that came back, that there seemed to be a little more holdback on the free cash recap for unpaid taxes. Typically, I noticed going back a few years, it was 400,000. And we saw that the number had bumped up to 600,000 this year against our free cash. And I wonder if that's a concern that also affects the overlay as well, uncollected, or potentially more requests for abatements because of people's concerns.
Well, I think we try and include that when we're projecting what we think we're gonna need in the overlay for the year, is that we anticipate abatements, and then we're really giving our best estimate about what we think. We may have some for liability for that later on, and then, like you said, of course, the unpaid or uncollectible taxes that come through. We have a little bit in there already that we could use for that.
But it does bring up a concern. We're talking about another substantial potential increase, and if we're seeing that type of trend in the prior year, is this going to exacerbate it a bit coming forward? We certainly hope not, but it does show that, is there a limit we're potentially approaching with, we have to really tighten the belts more, you know? So, just an area of concern. So,
This doesn't include the fire station exclusion, right? That's gonna come down the road at some point into the tax, it doesn't go to the tax rate, but it'll be, like, for instance.
Expansion for the,
Yeah, the expansion, so that this, you're saying it's gonna increase, the average house is gonna increase like $600. So it would be $600 plus whatever that is, but that's not till it comes down the road, right?
correct.
It wouldn't be in the tax rate exclusion, so it could
Yeah,
be,
that's not for fiscal year.
so it could be $600 plus $400 could be $1,000, and whenever the bond is
Whatever it
taken.
is, right?
Or maybe we have to look at taking less of a bond on that one. What about Borrego? They're going for tax, they sue?
I haven't heard anything from them, but I can contact them for that.
I thought there was was
I
there?
thought we had one concern about, were they looking to change their
Don't they file
status
it
or
with the
something?
appellate tax board?
Yeah, you mentioned that, right?
Oh, the
Solar
ATVs,
project, yeah.
yes. Yep, that one, I haven't heard anything yet from it. I did give everything to Rose Crowley, all of my documentation, but I haven't heard anything about a hearing date or anything like that.
And they're not on a pilot, they're just
No,
tax personal property.
yeah, so I haven't heard anything back. I probably will want an update soon, but sometimes nothing, hearing from them is good, so.
How much do they want back?
Well, yeah. What happened there was numbers that were submitted, and the state allows us to accept what they submit as as the value.
Yeah.
That's what, and so there was, they are saying that number was incorrect.
Their number that
Their number that
they
they
submitted
gave
to you
was incorrect.
Okay.
And so they're trying to recoup.
That sounds like a hard case to win, you know?
Well, but yeah, we use their number, which is
Right.
what the state tells us to do.
Right.
So
Right, that's what it was.
Oh, that car's only worth 5,000. We were wrong when we said 50. Yeah. All right. So, thank you for the
We
background.
have 4 votes, so we have to do, right?
Right, so Jane, you want to explain,
Yep.
start with number 1?
So number 1 is a single versus split tax rate and adopting a minimum residential factor of 1, which is a single tax rate, would result in a single tax rate. Adopting a minimum residential factor of less than 1 would result in a split tax rate. There would be one rate for residential properties and another higher rate for commercial, industrial, and personal property. The residential class accounts for about 85%, and then commercial, industrial, and personal property is about 15%. And historically, Hampden has always done a single tax rate.
Right.
The second is the open space discount. The town does not have any properties in open space. And historically, the Hampden always says no to this one. The residential exemption, this would shift the burden within the residential class onto the higher priced and non-owner occupied properties. This has been usually adopted in communities that have a large number of vacation homes, so think the Cape. And then number 4 is the small commercial exemption. This shifts the burden from qualifying small businesses to other commercial and industrial properties. We have about 40 commercial properties, and fewer than 10 would probably qualify for this exemption. And then for those few properties, the one who would directly benefit from this exemption would be the owner of the qualifying properties, not the business itself.
So historically, we've said, keep the single and
No.
no.
Yes.
Yes, historically, that's the way the town has voted.
Yep.
And that's been the recommendation from the Board of Assessors.
Well, we would say, like you said, that historically, that's what we do. How the board chooses to vote is up to you, but if you look at the one here, this one here that explains like what a shift would do to the rate.
Yeah, so a 150% shift, it would increase the, a tax bill about $8,239.88 for the commercial and industrial and personal property values. And then it would decrease the residential $608.95, and that would be a 150% shift. And then obviously 125 would be a little bit less than that.
And I know in previous years, the board has usually said that most of the business owners that own the businesses here live here. And so like you said, it's almost like you were shifting within yourself.
Right.
Because we don't have that many businesses to absorb a shift like that. And most of the businesses that are here are owned by people who live here.
Right.
So, and that's the way the board traditionally, your board traditionally looked at it.
Is the one question at the residential exemption, and just, so residential properties that are owned not by the owners, or,
Those are like, as she mentioned earlier, I think we were just talking about this, of all the communities in the Commonwealth, I said it was like 16
Yeah,
or something.
so out of the 351 communities in Massachusetts, only 18 have the residential
Actually have
exemption.
that. And those are towns that, like you say, are shoreline.
like a Chatham, like
Someone owns
a,
a house
right.
there, lives somewhere else, and it's essentially a rental.
to the vineyard,
They're
the,
never there, they
Cape
don't live
Vineyard,
there.
Berkshires, things
Right.
like,
Yeah.
places like that have them.
That's really kind of what that's for.
okay. All right,
Right, so help me with the motions here, okay? So I move that we adopt a single factor
Tax rate.
tax rate.
Yep.
Not paying attention. Second, all in favor? We voted on the first 3.
I agree with you, Don.
So I made a motion to, I moved to adopt a single tax rate.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you.
I move not to open space discount, not to adopt open space discount.
Second, all in favor?
Aye. I move not to adopt a residential exemption.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I move not to adopt a small commercial exemption.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
All these motions were with the guidance of the Board of Assessors, and we thank you for coming in. And again, we congratulate Jane.
We do have a form
I have the LA5 for
ready
you
to
to sign.
decide, so we can submit.
We'll take that under advisement.
Sure, okay. But we would advise that. That would be good to do.
Thank you.
How'd you know what they were gonna do? Wow.
Just,
She's got one for each way, all the
Just a
different
guess. It's a
permutations.
hunch.
She had to pick out the right one.
1.25 more for-
What color pen are we using for this?
Disappearing one. How do you like your office?
great.
Are you just doing the next line here? All right.
Yep, that's fine.
The printer get fixed?
No,
or somebody else's.
you're gonna have to probably get a new one.
Thank you, Jane.
Can't afford it, you just told us.
All right.
All right, we're all set.
Right,
Thank you very
All right,
much.
Thank you.
Get the select board. Brian, thank you.
Thank you.
Those are closed.
New sweater, Bob, new sweater.
Yeah.
Gonna close the hearing, the tax, pardon me, close the tax classification hearing. Next, we have before us the Conservation Commission. All of them. Well, more than last time. Come on up, please. So we have before us the chair of the commission, Tom H., how are you? Bonnie, administrative assistant extraordinaire. And Joe Zeno, how are you? Good. So give us a quick recap, why are you here?
Why are we here?
Yes,
Well, we're here because.
hundreds of people online want to know, I mean, they're watching.
Well, we're here because we have been trying for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years back with Bob Markle to get a conservation agent. And one of the first qualifications in Massachusetts is that they need to have a degree in environmental science. And this past summer, Joe and a couple other people expressed an interest in joining the commission, because we put out more feelers for that. And, well, Joe can talk about his background, but it seemed to be a really good fit to have Joe come on as a conservation agent. I spent some time speaking to Brian about it, and Brian, I'm pretty sure, has talked to Joe as well. We did post the job for 7 days, and although a few other people were interested, it was beyond the 7-day posting. So when we moved over here to Thornton Burgess, I reserved 2 rooms, one for the administrative assistant, that would be me, and then the other one for the conservation agent, because that's how it's set up in Munson, East Long Meadow, some of the other towns. And so now we're here to, I guess, officially have you appoint Joe, if the appoint is the correct word, as a conservation agent part-time conservation agent for the town.
I'm not sure if appoint's right or we're hiring, that's kind of my question here.
Hiring, because it's a paid position.
Right, I'm thinking we're hiring Joe. So at that point, it's kind of like at will, there's no period, he's just, you're Joe, you're hired, and this is a job, and you can tell your parents, hey, I got a job. So just to go back over the background though, because I know we talked about this, Joe, you were in front of us at was it September, October, you came in with Eric, I think, at the same meeting. So you had a chance then to meet with the commission, and they voted to push this forward?
Yes.
At a posted meeting?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so it's your recommendation then, Tom, of the committee to recommend him to be hired by the town.
Yes.
All right. Who gets the bigger office, Monty?
I think they're about the same size.
No, mine is a little bigger.
His has 2 windows though.
Yeah, but he has 2 windows.
Well, seniority, so.
I mean, one window's great compared to working in the.
That's true, exactly, yeah.
So what does the state require for a degree?
The first thing is a degree.
Well, what's the,
What type of degree?
what grade? What type of degree does the state require?
Well, Joe can tell you what he has.
It's a degree in environmental science or related field.
In your BS in botany and concentration ecology qualifies for that? How's Orono? It's way up there. He's on the commission now,
Yes,
so he'll have to resign from the commission because he can't.
Right.
That becomes an employer-employee relationship, you know?
right, he can't vote, but he still has to,
Well, he'll be making recommendations to the committee, the conservation commission.
yeah, he'll be going on all the site inspections.
Right,
and-
right, but he can't vote, he can't.
Correct.
Right, so he'll have to resign from that. Okay.
So that still gives you, obviously, you still have Eric as a new member.
It leaves us with 5.
Okay, good. And one associate, 2 associates, okay, good. All right, so I'll take a motion to hire Joe Zeno.
How much we paying him anyhow? How much we paying him?
It's a grade 4, step 1.
Grade
I
four,
think
step
Grade
Brian
4,
would
step 1.
have an answer for that.
Yeah, you approve grade 4, step 1.
So moved.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Welcome to the team.
He's gonna get sworn, does he give us, yeah?
I don't think so, it's just basically a hired,
As an
it's
agent,
just,
the commission.
not an appointed, we're hiring him.
Hired,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, so. That's it, great, turn your badge in and get a new badge, basically, yeah.
And he will need, a desk. I mean, he has a table in there,
Computer.
and, you know, that would be up to Joe if he wants a desk or just a, but he also needs a computer and a phone, and it needs to be set up as an office.
Speak to what's his name?
Yeah,
I'm sure there's
There's
stuff.
plenty around.
actually, take one of these with you. Okay, there you go, there's your chair,
We'll figure it out.
great. All right,
When's the start date?
When
Yeah.
will this all like, he still needs to, I don't mean to talk for you. I mean, he still needs to meet with you guys or Brian or somebody to sign.
Yeah,
Is he
you
gonna
gotta-
be out of contract, or how's it gonna work? Or is it gonna be, hours, because it's part-time? I mean, he
Well,
needs
basically-
somebody to figure all this out.
you can start, I mean, Brian is human resources, he'll figure that out, but basically it's an hourly position, as I believe.
Yep.
You know, as it's funded right now, so I
Okay,
can't remember how many hours per week we have it in there,
I think the budget could support 15, I think is what we
15, I
talked
think,
about.
so that's a certain,
yeah.
great. So, Brian's here every day, including Sundays, so stop back. You'll get a fob, basically a key to the washroom and everything else.
And I just want to add that Joe has also attended online workshop on first-time conservation agents.
Okay,
Right, yeah.
terrific. Is there a local group or anything, Bonnie, like, you know, so is this something Joe be able to, like, I don't know, once a month, once a quarter, they get together, like Brian has a group of town administrators that get together, things like that?
That'd be something that Joe could look into, because I was
Right.
just thinking, the fellow that's a conservation agent in East Long Meadow, Alex, he actually came through this town originally, and, but at that time it was gonna be shared with Granby,
Right.
and it fell through. But he's doing a really good job, because I've been working with him a little bit on some violations going on. And I thought, and I did think that probably Joe could benefit from
Sure.
working with Alex a little bit.
Especially, like you say, when there's things that, I don't say bleed over a town line, it's best to have that good cooperation. We had that thing in East Long Meadow, basically off of, between Carmody and, you know, so, East Long Meadow Road. So, I don't know what's happening with that subdivision proposal or anything at this point, but certainly something on the radar, on the back burner for now. All right, any more questions from the board?
Good.
Audience?
So we're done, right?
You're done.
You done?
All right, great.
Okay,
Tom,
thank you.
good to see you.
Yeah, Joe, let's connect tomorrow or
When's the next trip?
the next time we have a chance.
Where?
I'll be here at 8 tomorrow. I don't know what your schedule is,
Non-Disney resort that's in Disney.
but you could just stop in it.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
Couldn't
wait,
get a room anywhere.
let's connect my email.
Around
first.
Disney, like the Swan or something, or?
No.
All right.
Yeah,
To Caribbean.
I know I'm not, and I'm not
Okay.
sharing it with.
I can't remember the name.
All right, great,
Yeah,
good luck.
Thanks.
All right,
all right, carry on.
Bye.
all right. Custodial staff. Herb, wander on up. Come on.
Not close enough?
No. Let's get back into what I was saying before, Herb. I think the job you've been doing in the past couple of weeks, fantastic, you know.
Why don't we tune into the,
Split screen? No, we still have a couple minutes, I think.
yeah, we got
Okay, all right, let's move along. Herb, great job doing anything you want, thank you. Next.
All right, that was easy.
what are we doing?
Don's got an appointment. So you want to basically bring somebody on officially, right?
Well, so I just want to go over, we put out, quotes to, look into what it was gonna cost to, clean
The custodial
the
part, yeah.
custodial
yeah.
part here.
Mhm.
And so what we did is we reached out to some, you guys have a hired firm at the old building.
Mhm.
So we wanted to see, what the change is gonna be with pricing. I know Brian gave me a budget of, amount of money, to keep it in the budget at the end of the year for that amount. So we wanted to try to keep it as low, we wanted to keep it around that amount of money. So when I reached out to two to three companies, and in your paperwork, you can see, Service Master, they came back with $5,000 per month, 4,900. Obviously, we know that's not something we're really looking forward to paying. Then I went out to Kelso, that was cleaning the building, and you'll see two bids in there from them. If you look at the one of them on October 30th, they came back with a bid of 39, was it?
29:30,
What was it, 39.30?
29:30.
Yeah, 29.30. So, and then if you go back, so at that point, we decided, okay, I gotta go to kind of a plan B.
Mhm.
Obviously, and being in the custodian world forever, them, for a square footage of the building, that's what you're gonna pay out
Yeah.
there, an average company, because they're gonna have 6 guys come in here for an hour. They're gonna go through this building, they're gonna be out. So I tried to get kind of creative, so I started to look around. So I did talk to Sarah from the rec department. She was looking for some extra money off-season, because again, she gets let go from the rec department, she had put hours in the rec department in the winter,
Mhm.
very rarely. So I asked her, I said, well, would you be considered maybe cleaning TWB or the new town building at quote amount of money that we have budgeted for? Which she's in that range, she's asking for an extra $25 than what we're paying. So I thought it was a win-win situation, due to the fact that, not only did she help us out move into the place, she did a lot of paint for us and stuff like that, they were very good, the rec department was very helpful to the move. And that's how we got her work ethic, she's a very hard worker. She's, invested in the town of Hampden, she's invested in the rec department, so I thought that was a win-win situation for us.
Right.
People in the building liked her. I mean, I heard a lot of comments about her within the staff in the building.
Mhm.
So she was very trustworthy, she, someone I would, myself would be able to go to and say, hey, did this get done or this get done, I think the communication would be great there. And we're right in our ballpark to finish off the year.
Right, I mean, obviously, there's a little bit of overlap if you're having her start. I mean, we got to carry the town hall for a little bit while the library is there, a couple weeks.
So we made arrangements for that, John. So council will be done at the old town hall, end of November. So I'd like to start Sarah on December 1st. And then she would probably go up there and just take care of the library a little bit, here and there. We could adjust to that. I don't wanna pay another month, a whole month of December. We're only gonna be up there until the 5th.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, she may only need one night over there with the typical cleaning schedule.
Like I said, we could adjust it.
Right.
I can work it out.
A couple things that come to mind. I think I had a conversation with Brian about this. You can chirp in. This is not a service to us. She will be an employee of the town of Hampden.
Correct.
Right. So this has to be something that's on the current table, if you will. And I know you have a number there, but if we're putting her into a job description and on the table, that's where it has to be, not that. You've given her basically a ballpark of where you'd like to put her in at.
Right.
You and Brian, we have to work out where that's appropriate, like this is going to be a grade 3 step something that comes out to this number. And that has, otherwise, because it's not a contract service to us.
Right.
It's a hired employee. Secondly, the other thing that comes up, and this may be going back in my memory, but I thought we typically ask for bonding for cleaning services because of the going into certain offices and stuff like that. And we have certain employees that have a bond already, treasurer, collector, things like that. Is this something we should be looking into for the custodial staff, if they're hired employees?
That's a new one.
You see where I'm going, right?
Yeah, we'll have to look into that.
Okay, just because they have to have that access,
Right.
right? So I don't think that's a big deal.
Well,
Typically, we pay for that, if that's the thing, it's just part of our budget. Yeah, that's no big deal.
The plus is having someone in the building that you can rely on and you have access at.
And that's why I think you've done a superb job, because now you have two people, this and the other, I can't remember his name, but now you have a couple local people you can depend on, because Herb, you're doing a fantastic job, but I don't expect you to drive back 15 miles every time, 20 miles every time there's a problem. Now you get somebody you can reach out to and say, hey, Sarah, I see something, can you go over and just check on that for me? We'll, take care of it.
That's what I signed on for. When I took this job.
And I got that, I like
It was
it.
gonna be,
I am,
Yeah.
we're very fortunate. I mean, I bumped into you here Saturday, you were here with the county correction guys and they were helping out, that was good. So we just need to look into how we can make this appropriate with our current wage classification package. And I anticipate Brian can work with you on that. I think the board is certainly in favor of bringing Sarah on. I know she does a great job for the Parks Department. Good thing is she's probably already Corey certified, so that's not a thing either, because it had to be done for parks. So, and the bonding, again, it's a rote thing, and the town takes care of the expense, that's part of the budget, but there just needs to be done.
and there's gonna be some quirks to this, because again, we come back down to, she will return back to the park in the spring.
And that's gonna be a thing.
We don't, I made it very clear to her, it'd be 10 hours a week, it'd be 5 hours in 2 days.
Mhm.
And it would be split like a Tuesday and maybe a Friday. We do have Jake here on Thursday, so Jake can do trash and do bathrooms and whatever, he can take up some of the slack in that one extra day, and we have the building ready for everybody to come back in on Monday.
Right, the one thing is, in the spring, whenever March, April, Parks starts needing her services again for the outdoor, and you come back and say, look, I'd like to keep her on, look, they need her days, I need her nights. The potential there is that it might jump up the hours in total to where it's not a part-time employee, if you will. And that would be another consideration, because now that affects employee benefits, potentially.
And we're trying to keep away,
We're trying,
we're trying to keep away from that, I understand that.
right,
So that's something we can look in down the road.
exactly.
Does Dan need her for that? You know, again, Dan's been great to work with,
Mhm.
been super good. We've actually sat down, and talked about this entire thing. So I think there's a good working relationship there.
Right,
So I think maybe we can work something out where she's gonna get some hours from the park and she might get some hours from us, but stay into that limit.
sure,
But again, that's something we'll have to deal with.
right.
That, we'll have to go over that bridge in the spring. And I can assure you that I will have that figured out before spring starts.
Right. I think bottom line, I think we're in favor of you bringing Sarah on, you know, and assisting. And I think the other part can be worked out easily with Brian.
What's the difference in these two bids from Kelso?
So if you look at the two bids,
Keep it PG.
it didn't set well with me. Because if you look at the dates, they came through the building, they gave a quote of $2,900. And then when they found out that we weren't gonna use them, they wanted a $975. To me, that's telling me something without going into a whole bunch of, that tells me that,
Tell me you'll save $2,000.
Right.
no, absolutely, but we're gonna get the same results.
Yeah, I want-
Somebody that
I
we
want-
have, that we personally
Well,
know. They're sending people, and what I think is.
My question is, because I looked at the two things, if everything is the same, it just struck me as, are they really gonna, is the quality gonna be there? Here's for $2,900.
Well, what they're saying is they could do it for $2,900, and we jumped on it, but now they can do it for $975, so you tell
Well,
me.
the bottom line is, yes, we're going to get the same quality.
Yeah.
Leave it at that,
Right.
because, yeah,
Regardless, so
Yeah.
that didn't sit well with me, being in the
Correct,
custodial
Lauren?
business.
No, we have a
Quality
person
same.
that's experienced and knows
Which
the
is
building,
great.
has been here, it's fine.
You know,
Okay.
we have to
Okay.
act as
Do we need a motion to
somebody
approve
experienced.
that?
I thought we just did.
Yeah, okay.
Well, thank you, guys.
All right, thank you. Go home.
What?
I'm on my way.
Yeah,
All right,
I made the motion, he seconded.
second, all in favor? Aye. And again, another person off the Brian.
He's
Okay,
creating the
all right.
kingdom. He's creating the kingdom.
Boy, no kidding.
It's a fiefdom.
They're all responding, like, who are we, chopped liver? So, shared health services. All right, we're supposed to have somebody on the advisory board. I think the choice is clear, it's gotta be Eric. He's not here.
What do we need to do?
There's shared health board, you know, with,
There's an advisory board for
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I mean, it could be you, but I mean, I think it's more appropriate the guy who doesn't show up gets put on a committee.
Wait a minute.
And what the heck, he works for Bay State.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
perfect health.
right, right.
Drives right by. Drives right by.
There you go, all right,
That's what this is about?
yeah.
Yeah, we need one member appointed by the Board of Health from each municipality.
We appoint Derek.
Derek / Craig? Greg?
Eric Van der Leeden to be our member to the advisory board of the shared health.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Whoever it is, whatever his name is.
Okay.
All right, great, that was even more fun than I thought it would be.
All right.
He's probably not watching, so he won't know until they dock. Okay.
Oh, well.
Yeah, well, too bad. All right, so another couple of, boy, cultural council is just bursting at the seams. They're gonna need their own office pretty soon, Brian. Yeah, see what,
I think we're out of space.
oh, okay, see what we can do. So Pam shared with the select board that two more people are interested in being on the cultural council. Jen Baggy, who was helping Sherry on the land trust, and Melanie Joy. So, again, it's one of those things, we don't have a lot of background on it, but we do know both of these people. We know that they have been in great service to the town in various capacities, whether it's scouts with the land trust, et cetera. So I would recommend to the board that we have a motion to appoint both to a term of, looks like, ending in June 30th, 2028.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Second, all in favor, aye. All right, so,
Finish up.
thank you. That's Derek's.
Derek's been.
All right, building use policy, Brian, recap.
So, what we have before the board is a building use and rental policy for the new town hall. As you recall, we had a lot of interest even before we moved in for usage of the building by various groups in the community. And instead of approaching in ad hoc manner, this is a building rental use policy that I had drafted in the previous, for a previous community. It had worked pretty well. The building in that case was an auditorium and a meeting room, meeting space, so it was similar to what we have here. There was concerts and plays and meetings of local nonprofit organizations that happened. So policy worked pretty well. It sets forth a reservation process, there's an application process. Just the highlights of that is that there's priority use of spaces for municipal boards and committees. There is an application that needs to be submitted to the Selectboard office. Interested parties can reserve space up to 6 months in advance, and they can reserve multiple times, but we try to keep it at a measurable period of time in terms of how far out people can schedule. We don't want people scheduling rooms 2 years out, we don't really know what's gonna happen in 2 years.
Right, obviously, we have the block-offs for the, town meetings, things like that. And of course, you have the groups who came to see us with the Scannick Valley Artisans, who talk
Yep.
about they do 3 or 4 times a year, and, if they
Yep.
have those dates, they'd like to like them, block them off.
Yep, it talks about inclement weather or other emergencies where if the buildings are closed, the events are canceled,
All right,
just so that people know, and the town's not responsible for any costs that may have been incurred by people who are looking to use the space. So this might be one of the more interesting parts, and 5.0 is user fees. We had a similar setup in the previous town that it worked pretty well. So the theory here is that if you're a Hampden resident, Hampden-based organization, Hampden-based nonprofit organization, or Hampden-based business, that your taxes fund your reasonable use of the facility, with a catch-all of all others who would pay a user fee. And the user fee would be different for each of the different spaces that are listed here. Cafetorium, large meeting room, small meeting room. We have the fabulous gazebo out front, or other outdoor areas. There are a couple additional fees that I'm recommending here that for the board to consider. One would be that where the building is used to, essentially if a group charges admission. So where this would come into play if it was a Hampden-based group and they charge admission, if they sell tickets essentially, that there would be a usage fee for the building.
now, would it matter if they're a 501c3 or not?
No.
Okay,
The idea is that those costs could be passed on, and then the cost of using the facility could be passed on through the ticket sales. And then the taxpayers, everybody in the town wouldn't have to pay for that, so to speak.
all right, so, and we'll use one for an example. So, for instance, the Theater Guild.
Yep,
All right, so they have typically been using the town hall for rehearsals and then putting on a show.
yep,
It would seem like the rehearsals would be like any other Hampden-based group, that is, upon availability, that they're not interfering with the municipal use, basically.
Yep.
Parks doesn't need it, they're fine. When the show actually happens, that's when the charge comes in.
That's what's being proposed, yeah.
Okay, same thing for here as well, so.
Yeah, and that, yep, that's how we had that set up. It didn't seem to be an issue.
Okay. Now, Scannick Valley Artisans, I don't believe they charge a fee to go in. I've been there, they just go in.
Right. So the way this is written right now, that they wouldn't be charged a fee. If there's not ticket sales or pay to get in.
Right.
Then there
But
wouldn't be that.
they were, when they were at the senior center, they would pretty much cover the custodial cost, basically.
Yep.
Something like that for, based on their revenue, basically. You know,
Yeah.
they made some sales.
So there's also there's also two other types of fees that I just want to mention here. One would be a frequent user fee, and then one would be a custodial fee, and that's 5.3 and 5.4. So the idea, in my mind, behind allowing free use of the building to taxpayers of Hampden-based businesses and entities is that tax dollars fund this building. They fund the electricity, they fund the heat, they pay for the wear and tear of the replacement. And if someone were to use the facility quite often, some might argue that they're using more than their fair share of what they pay for the building.
Well, they're taking advantage of it, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
It's sort of the tragedy of the common stuff where that's all.
It's unfortunate, but Junior Chiefin finds hey, I can meet in Hampden 3 or 4 times a week and not pay anything.
Right.
It's a great cause, but there's a cost to the people of Hampden as well.
Right.
Right.
Yep. And then the custodial fee, and then there's this idea of a custodial fee, and that's 5.4, and that's tripped. This can be whatever we want to set it at, but that's tripped over a custodial fee if there's over 100 attendees. Then we'll charge a custodial fee. Maybe it's less, maybe it's more. But at some point, there's going to be a critical mass of people where the building's going to get pretty dirty.
Well, it's no
Based on
different
one
than when
event.
the school controlled this building. I know they charged basically event nights or whatever, a custodial fee. And that was
Yeah.
fair enough because you have an expense. Basically, like you said, if you're making, it's part of the cost of the event. Now, if you've got 5 people in here for a meeting or something like that, there's really no difference in terms of
Right.
expense of the town, so.
Yep.
All right, this is,
Yeah, so just real quick, there's an idea of a security deposits required for events over 50.
is that under your discretion or our discretion?
So all of these fees and the fees are at the discretion of the board, and the security deposit could be waived. And there's also an insurance requirement at
Okay.
7.0.
Yep.
They're all tripped. The idea behind the security deposit is that if someone comes in and breaks something, the taxpayer shouldn't have to pay for it.
Right,
It's the same thing with insurance. At some point, if we have a lot of people in here, there's a liability to the town. While the town's insured, the town would be the primary insurer in the absence of anything else. So if there are a lot of people coming in not for town events, then is it a liability that the town should have to bear on its own?
okay.
Yeah, I think is the question there.
All right, do you want, now you have a building use application.
Yep.
Are these voted on by the board? Are you looking to have it come to you, or do you think this should be, I mean, I don't anticipate a ton of them, so we might as well review them at a board meeting. You know, it's not like this isn't like a septic plan, that just goes to the Board of Health and
So it-
signing up on 3 a week.
So in my experience in the other town, a lot of these are pretty. So what we did was anything that was larger, I don't remember what the threshold was. I would have discussions with the board about if it was, we still had a Grange and if it was the Grange and they wanted the meeting room, it wasn't really something we brought to the board. It was the Grange needs a meeting room with 20 chairs in it.
The garden club, something like
Right.
that, yeah.
The pretty mundane stuff, I would just sign off on, but
But if
the larger stuff.
the theater deal wants to book for 2 months, then we have to talk about it.
Yeah, or if it's Scannick Valley Artisans, they're gonna have,
3 dates or
3
something they
days
want to book.
and 200 people,
Right.
then we need to really make sure we're covering
Right.
covering ourselves. But, I mean, I think the most important thing is that we get a process in place that's known, and people know how to fill out the application, and we set this process, because we already have different requests to use the building.
Okay.
So I'd love to have it in place, and we can adjust as we go along.
Well, I think that's the key point right there. You didn't bring this down on a tablet here. This isn't the way it always will be.
Yeah.
It's a great framework for a start, and I think you put it out there, maybe on the website somewhere.
It'll go on the website, and the application
Great.
on the website.
Great. Motion to endorse the building use application.
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Cranking, Don. I like the way you run.
All right, we're moving along.
In case you're going anywhere, you know. What'd you say, motion to adjourn? What? Tree lighting, yes, we should have one. Next. All right, so that's 6 o'clock on the 7th. I've spoken to Kara at Three Meadows during Read Aloud last week, and the chorus is ready for that. I spoke to Chief Poulin. The fire department is ready for their part. I want to compliment Paul Marcelina and Paul Pignelli on everything that's done out there. I think anyone driving by is going to see some additional decorations being erected on the yard around the gazebo, and more to come, so we thank them. They've also paid for, I think, the electrician Sacco, Kevin Sacco, to come in and do some wiring there as well. So things are proceeding along. Brian, you mentioned that the PTO has been approved to do a bake sale, and I think we're looking to do that inside. We saw Mr. and Mrs. Claus today. They did not respond to any request that Brian and I made, unfortunately. Something for you was what we asked for, Don. Yeah. But we are having a meeting with them later this week or next. So I think things are moving along pretty well. Obviously, we've got to put out, I don't know if did we do a robocall last time? No, I think we did, especially because of the parade part. Yeah. I think a robocall, and of course, the social media things as well.
Yeah, I think if it's okay with the board, I'll work with Paul Marcelino to put out a press release tomorrow morning, I think, or something like that, or maybe tomorrow. And it's real.
Everything.
Do we have to do it?
Yeah, we'll have to show up then, right?
Great.
Thanks, Santa. Okay, new town hall update. We're here. Thank you.
We're here.
Ballpark, it's been going well. Bottom line?
It has gone extremely well. I would say we're 99% all set. The 1% is, we need Verizon to finish some work on the fiber optic cables.
Is that
come
what
into
they're
the building.
doing down here?
Yeah, coming into the building for the state computer system for the town clerk.
I noticed when I was checking the coffee maker, they have the phone system on the wall there. Is that actually still live? Because they show a ton of trunks coming in.
It's live in the building. I don't know that there's,
Let's hope we're not getting,
Lines are
obviously a Verizon bill for those 17 trunk lines.
no,
Okay.
we are not.
Okay, just want to be sure, because they show they're wired and distributed. So we're going to all the VoIP stuff for all our phones,
Yeah,
right? Okay.
everything's VoIP, that's all checked out, everybody's phone is working, everybody's internet's working. Again, the state computer's the last connection, we might have to get, and we're working on the fax line, I think. I don't know who uses the fax anymore, but we'll still have at least one.
I thought
into
we
the
had one
building.
and Eva had one, no?
Yeah, I think we'll reestablish those.
I mean, unless you want to go e-fax.
I think
No,
we
I
use
mean,
it.
that's what I have mine.
No, I agree, I
Yeah.
just,
It's another charge, but it's not huge.
yeah.
Yeah.
Electronic door locks should be all set. Fobs are being assigned to employees and in-town officials. We're working off the existing camera system now, but we'll be making upgrades to that. Hopefully, in the next month or so.
Was that discussed today? I didn't make the,
I wasn't able to make it either.
do you want to touch on my thought about the doors? I was suggesting to Brian and Herb that we take a pair of the doors at the entrance. We don't need three pairs of doors. Take one out, put a wall there, and that could be where we could do the postings, et cetera. Because we don't have enough outside space for a town meeting warrant or anything like that. But if we take a pair out and just make a surface out of it, we'll have more than enough, and it'll be under the overhang as well.
Yeah, oh yeah,
So,
yep,
and I
that's,
can't imagine that'd be a the way Herb is so, smart on doing things, I think he could figure that out, and hey, throw the doors in stock and keep them for a spare sometime. Don't throw them away.
Yeah. And then I met with a sign company last week, and got a proposal for, we went through the building, got a proposal for interior and exterior signage that we need to flesh out a little bit, but
Okay.
the paper signs won't last forever, so.
Right. Okay,
Yeah, so we're open here, and everybody's welcome.
all right, anything else urgent? Selectmen reports, I have nothing to report.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I do. So last week, because we did not meet, I did sign the warrants for the board, and the two warrants were the AP warrant were $35,203.54, and the payroll warrant was $63,078.89. Is that what you meant, Ms. McCormick? Thank you.
Yes, it is, thank you.
Okay, keep it straight and narrow there.
I have 4 food permits,
Do you?
yes. I have, this is for the Babes for a Cause event on November 29th, at the starting gate, Great Horse.
Are you bringing those permits with you to the event?
I have Fed by Foley, which is charcuterie boxes, pre-packaged, no assembly required.
That's the best kind.
I have the Taylor the Baker, homemade breads, macaroons, decorated cookies, and cake slices. I have patty cakes, cupcakes, cake pops. All items will be pre-packaged, individually wrapped with no assembly on site. And finally, I have Tribe Power Bites LLC, which is protein bites.
Great. Well,
Also, I would like a motion, they're asking that I have a motion that the chair, as chair of the Board of Health, I be able to authorize
like
anyone
we
that
did
come in
before.
late.
Yes,
We have one coming tomorrow.
okay. I move that we authorize the 4 food permits.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Make a motion that we authorize the Board of Health Chair to endorse on its own, report back any food permits for the Babe for a Cause that arrive prior to the 29th.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, any other reports?
That's all I got.
All right, I have nothing else. A TA report, and what you've already covered.
Just real quick, we have an email from the school committee asking if we're interested in the tour of the Wilbraham Middle School.
I saw they listed several dates. Are they planning on touring each of the dates, or they want us to pick one? Because any of the dates were fine with me, so. Don, did you have a preference on which date?
I'll be responding to that invitation in the negative.
Okay.
Uh,
What if they have some of these places there?
I won't be there.
You all like to respond individually to it?
I'm gonna respond individually
Okay.
without, and so I don't get my other board members involved.
Okay.
Or you're not in a tour officially?
I'm not gonna officially, personally, I'm not gonna tour the buildings. I've already
I
toured.
thought you had already,
I've already
actually.
toured the building.
Yeah, I've been there several years, so, but you're much more recent than I have.
Yeah, it was last year I toured it, so I'll be writing a
A detailed response?
respectful RSVP.
I'm sure you will, as only you can. Will that be at 2 in the morning or later?
I've been getting up late, I've been getting up at like 4:30, 4:45.
Must be taking the dog out or
Yeah, I
something,
took the
yeah.
dog out at 8, and he comes, then I have to give him a greenie, so.
Now you're in a great mood. All right, great.
We do have a meeting with National Grid tomorrow.
Yes, we do, 2 meetings, one at 10 and one at 11.
Yep.
Okay.
What are they up to?
It's the Colony Road,
Oh.
yeah, upgrading thing, yeah.
And then their annual meeting with the first
Emergency
responders.
management. Like,
Emergency management.
reached out to Craig to see if he would,
Cool.
Craig, remember we had named him? Greg.
Greg.
Yeah, Greg. Okay,
right.
we do have a meeting. So our meeting next week is Tuesday at 5:30.
5:30, right?
We're welcoming our guests from across the border. right?
Yes,
Yes,
we want, yes.
welcoming.
Well, yes.
Yes, we will. Jovial manner, as we always are. Really appreciative of the recap Brian did for our financial status. And I think we need to be cognizant, is that something we want to post or just as part of our, I'd like to include it in our minutes.
Yeah.
You know, so when minutes are posted, that's in there. Brian, okay?
Yep,
All right, thank you.
and then we can, we're happy to post the tax rate recap sheet when it's finalized.
Yes.
That's when it's said and done, so,
Okay. All right.
not that anybody understands it, but
If there's nothing further for the open meeting part, I will entertain a motion to go into executive session, not to return to open session.
Mr. Chair, I move that we go into executive session pursuant to Mass General Law C-30A, Section 21A3, to discuss collective bargaining, in which an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining position. We will not return to, this is the highway union, and we will not return to public session.
Second, all those in favor by name, John Flynn, aye.
Don Davenport, aye.
Eric,
Derek.
All right, thank you all.
Thank you.